A Thursday morning, we welcome Pastor Brian Custard. Good morning, Brian. How are you this morning?
I'm well. It's good to be here.
Good to see you.
Yeah, the studio's looking good.
It's been a little while. Well,
it has been a few years.
Yeah. So what's new? Pastor, talk about that.
Pastor?
Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going through the commissioning process of the Church of God tradition, and through that commissioning process, last November I was licensed. Because the Church of God realized that not all people may be able to go to college to get degrees or go to seminary, so they came up with a way that people could become pastors without that. But I also decided to go back to school as well.
Wow.
So finishing out what I started at Mercyhurst University, and should graduate next spring.
Congratulations. That's
Thanks.
pretty exciting.
It is exciting. It really is.
So talk about what drew you to that before we get into all these activities,
Sure.
these great things coming up.
Okay.
What was the calling? What led you to go that direction?
Well, I got back into church with the help of some friends that I actually went to church with when I was very young.
We call this intervention, by the way.
Right, exactly. So the intervention brought me back into the church. We started getting more involved, and with my background in theater, I became involved with the drama program at the church. We did a couple of plays at the church to raise money for the children to go to Philadelphia on a mission trip, and that was for working with the homeless. So that was really a great event. And then we had some dinner theaters as well, where we raised money for the youth group. And the more I got involved, I got into some Bible study programs, and I just drew more and more closer to God. And at that point, that's when I'm sitting in church one day, and I just hear the voice that says, "I need you to preach for me." And I didn't listen for the first 2 times that I heard that. And finally, when the third time came through, that's when I said, well, I need to.
So up to that point,
like Eli.
Right. You don't always listen like, what, me? Are you really talking to me?
so it's kind of gradual, but you'd have these thoughts occasionally that,
Right.
boy, this is something that...
Right. It was distinct. It was a very distinct voice. So, and finally, I heard that, you're wasting the talents that I've given you. I want you to preach. And it's at that point that I buckled down and decided this is the route that I'm going to go.
Although, in fairness, 15 years ago, we also told you that.
Exactly.
So, and by the way, your wife is amazing. She is wonderful, and she obviously has been very supportive of this decision of you.
She really has, and it's not just a one-person decision, and Joanne has been completely supportive of the whole thing. As a matter of fact, when I left my other career and decided to go back to school, she says, "I'll handle things. That's your job, is to get through school."
Wow.
So, yeah, very much supportive.
That's great. All right, so talk about where you're at right now.
Where am I at right now? We are getting ready for 3 big events at Cornerstone Church of God, and that's on Route 322 between the Days Inn and Perkins. For those who remember, it used to be the Dutch Pantry, but we converted it over. It was actually a plant church from the New Beginnings Church, planted it there in Vernon Township. So, but now we have basically broken off into our own, so independent, but still a member of the Church of God.
And smells fantastic still.
Absolutely. Every now and then, the Perkins comes over. The dad's dog food comes this way.
It's a nice mix, yeah.
But we had come up with a mission trip. But we didn't want to go to some other state or to some other country. We wanted to do something for people in the Meadville area. So we started that mission trip to Meadville. We called it Mission Trip Meadville. And it was basically, the theme was love your neighbor as yourself. And so we did a lot of projects around for several years. We did these projects, and through one of these projects that we did, the person came up with an idea. He said, well, how about we do a motorcycle run? And we're like, what? A church and a motorcycle run? why not? So Pastor Jamie Hustleton's the senior pastor, and he's been very open to this idea. So it's coming up. We're actually putting it together, and June 11th, Saturday, June 11th, and it's going to start with a bike blessing at 10 o'clock in the morning at the church.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. We actually have a guy who plays the bagpipes. He's going to play some bagpipes during that little bit of a ceremony. And then we have 2 different routes that we're going to go. It's about 70 miles the whole way, but we're going to take off from the church and we're going to head towards the Linesville area. We're going to end up, some of them will go to Andover and loop back, but it's like 2 different routes that will cross each other so we don't overwhelm the establishments that they're stopping at. And at each site that they stop, they're going to get their tiles for the Scrabble so they can build a word.
Oh, that's cool.
And then at the end of that, it's a really nice route. And it's all nice paved roads and beautiful scenery throughout the area, going out through the spillway and to Andover, and then down around towards Jamestown and back. But we're ending up at the Eastmead Fire Hall, and we're going to have a pig roast there.
Wow.
Right. So, I mean, and we call it an all-wheel ride because it's not just restricted to motorcycles. We're also anything that's legal on the road. And as many people as you want in your car for $15 per vehicle, you get...
That's a good deal.
You get the run and a pig roast for $15.
That's a good deal. It really is.
I think it's great. We have the first 100 people who pre-register I'll give you the number in a little bit. We have patches that have been made.
Nice.
And actually at the fire hall, we're going to have somebody there who's going to put them on the vests
of
the riders.
So they don't have to carry it with them. They can have it put on right there.
At the end of the end of the ride.
That is really nice.
So we have a nice Chinese auction. We also have a 50-50 that'll go on there, and then of course the pig roast. $15 for because sometimes some of the motorcycle runs, I believe it's $15 per person.
Yeah.
So this is $15 per motorcycle or car or van or whatever
That's
it may
great.
be.
Well, the Eastmead Fire Department too is on a great motorcycle road too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean hills and curves and all that neat stuff. So it'll be fun getting there.
And they're great people at Eastmead. We're so appreciative of them letting us come there and have the pig roast. But the number to call for pre-registration is the church number, and it's 814-336-1889. And if Claudia, our receptionist, isn't answering the phone, you can just leave a message and we'll have you pre-registered. The first 100 people that pre-register will get that patch for free.
And folks can get more information, too, by visiting the Cornerstone Facebook page.
That's right. We have the Cornerstone Facebook page. We also have cornerstonemeadville.net is our website, has all the information about that as well.
And this benefits not just the church. Talk about that.
Right. The thing is that we like to help the community, and we know one of the best services in the area is women's services, because women's services does so much for the women, for abuse victims, and you name it. And so we decided that we would like to split any of the proceeds with women's services.
That's really nice. Last fall, in the midst of the budget crisis with the state, Women's Services was one of the groups that came to the Diamond and talked about, how it was the budget impact was impacting their services. And it was then that I learned about them firsthand from their director. And boy, they do a wonderful job.
They do a lot of work. I know Joanne had helped with the greenhouse and their hotline that they have as well.
That's great.
So yeah, they just do so much, and we wanted to give back to somebody that helps so many in our county.
And here's a great way to do it. Again, benefits Cornerstone Church of God and Women's Services of Crawford County. Registration begins at 9 a.m., the bike blessing at 10, which is cool. And then you're off and running for a great day, and then wrap things up with the pig roast.
Right. Once we get to the fire hall, we're going to open the doors at 1 o'clock. Then we'll probably have the raffles around 3. And then 3:30 we'll have the Scrabble, because they'll have their Scrabble tiles, so whoever has the most points on the word that they're able to make will win a prize as well. But we've got some great Chinese auction prizes that we're giving away, and it's just going to be a great event. We're not very rigid on the times other than the door opening at 1 o'clock, so the food will probably start around 1:30 or 2.
But
boy, what a great day to spend what a way to spend a Saturday.
I think it would be a great way to spend a Saturday.
See, next year you'll be here and you'll be like, boy, that was such a success.
Yes.
This is the second annual. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we hope you're back before next year.
Oh, I hope so.
We're here with Pastor Brian Custard talking about all the great things happening at Cornerstone Church of God. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. So, Brian, this is just the start of all the fun summer events taking place at Cornerstone. What else is coming up?
Immediately the week after, we do the all-wheel ride.
But wait, there's more.
There is more. Last year, we held our first vacation Bible school at the recreation complex, because we thought, what a great place to hold a vacation Bible school. It makes much sense. So last year when we did it, we teamed up with Watson Run Church of God, and they bring in, because they put on their huge festival, the Ignite Festival. Mm-hmm. So they had a...
Oh, that is huge, yeah.
It is huge. So they teamed up with us. They brought in their portable stage and their lighting and everything, and that's the program we did for the children. Last year it was based on Australia. This year it's based on being submerged. So we're taking the kids into a submarine ride, and we're diving into Scripture. It's called Submerged. It's going to be June 15th through the 19th. So that's a Wednesday through Friday, and it's 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday is going to be 10 a.m. to noon. But the Saturday and Sunday, the nice thing is the kids get free swimming after they do the VBS. Yes. So what we do on Sunday is we wrap things up with a nice program, and then we have a huge picnic. Everybody bringing in, church food is wonderful when everybody brings in something, and then everybody gets to go swimming. So it's Saturday and Sunday for the swimming, but everybody's able to go, and it's at the Mark, which I think is wonderful because it's not just for this church or for that church. It's for the community, for all the kids to come and participate in.
That's fantastic. Now, if somebody's listening or watching and they think, boy, that sounds like a good thing, to get my kids involved in, do they call and register for that? Do they talk to you?
They can actually call. We have a register online at One Meadville. It's on Facebook, One Meadville. And then we have these flyers that we will be having around all over the place. On the front it says Submerged and tells you the dates and everything. And then on the back it has the registration form as well. All right, but they can do the online registration. They can also phone if they want to. They can call 814-573-2300, or they can call Cornerstone again at 336-1889. But it's actually Watson Run, and we had Oasis Church has joined us this year. So I'm hoping we hope that as this proceeds and continues, that more churches will want to be drawn in and use more of the Mark. We kind of kept it right into the ice rink area without the ice last year, but this year we're kind of expanding because we would like to take it out eventually. So we're using the pavilion and the skate park and the trails, as we keep going.
Right.
But the Mark has been so wonderful about accepting us and having us there and having the VBS.
And it is a wonderful facility to utilize.
It is a great facility.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to have the kids where kids like to go. So that's coming up June 15th through the 19th.
Okay.
All right. And then we have a little bit of a break. We have a little bit of a break, but then at the end of July, we were throwing around the idea. Well, we wanted to team up and raise some money for women's services, and we wanted to either have an obstacle race, kind of like what they do up at Bethesda in the spring, or we wanted to do a color run. And we said, well, why don't we just combine and do a little bit of both? So we're going to do what's called a color dash. It's a national organization where we're bringing them in to help us. We thought maybe the first year it would be good to have somebody who's been doing it for years take us through the steps. So the color dash is what it's called, Cornerstone Color Dash 5K Run and Walk. But we've had a lot of help through the years with the Meadville Field Archers. They're a great organization, and they've helped us raise money and bring in canned goods for our food pantry. But we're going to go out to the Meadville Field Archers on Inlet Road, Harmonsburg, and this color dash is not going to be, because a lot of times they just take it through the towns,
right,
on streets. No, we're going through the 3D Target in the woods.
That
they
is
have
cool.
their paths. So it's
Really?
going to go through the woods. We're also going to have a little setup in the parking area for children to go through and have their own little dash. And what it is colored cornstarch that they throw, the different colors.
Right.
You get a white T-shirt, and then you can see from the posters. But again,
Maybe next year you could add paintballs.
that's an idea. Maybe we should think
And
about
if you're running through the woods and you don't know where those are coming,
That'd be great. But
Just don't go like this.
This is Saturday, July 30th. Yeah, 30-point buck. Right? Saturday, July 30th, and it's $35 per dasher. Now, we've seen some of the different runs in the area, and we've seen them $40, $50, $75
This
per
is
person.
a great price.
This is $35, and there are also other rates, but we're going to help women's services. We're going to have the packet that you will get for your race, an early bird packet pickup Friday the night before from 5 to 7, and the dash day pickup will be starting at 7:30, and then the actual dash starts at 9 a.m. at the Meadville Field Archers. And you can go to cornerstonemeadville.net. Go to the bottom. They have an events part, and you can register online right there. We'll take you to the site. And we also have opportunities for businesses who would like to sponsor. We've been going around to some of the local businesses. We have different level sponsors from platinum to $1,000, even down to $50 Dash Friends sponsorships. And it's a great way. We've had Robert Wade Funeral Homes on board, Paul Benser, he's a counselor, Cressman Law Offices helping, Maloney Tool and Mold, Marquette Savings Bank, the Medicine Shop in Connie Lake and in Meadville, attorney Emil Spatafor and W.E. Unger and Associates, the sponsors that are on board so far. We thank them so much for their support. But it's going to be a great, great event.
So you've got these major events during the summer months here.
Right.
In between, what are some things going on at the church? What are you guys working on internally?
In between, we constantly have our food pantry open, and we help hundreds and hundreds of families. And of course, we have our regular services. We have different Bible studies, small group Bible studies going on all the time. And actually, there's a program that's coming to Crawford County. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Open Table. That's something that the church is working on, and Cornerstone's trying to be a major part of bringing that to Crawford County. And what it is...
This is different from like the open restroom debate going on.
Right.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with that.
Table.
The Open Table is a program in which you have a group of people that agree to be committed to one person for at least a year to take them from poverty out of poverty.
Oh, wow.
So it's a well-rounded program. They help them everything with education, with food and clothing, and whatever they need to take them on a path out of poverty.
That's fantastic.
And it's Open Table. Look for that, and I'm hoping I can get Pastor Jamie to come back and talk more about Open Table with you here.
That's fantastic. So when do you hope that program gets started?
It's actually been in the planning phases here. I know he's been working on it for at least the last 6 months, getting agencies and people together. It's quite a feat because it's multiple churches as well. So it's not just Cornerstone, but because it takes a whole community to help beat this poverty.
And it's funny, we've had these discussions before where you look back and you think, well, that's sort of what the church did, right? Not the government.
Exactly.
Churches should be doing.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to do, because we need to love our neighbors. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
So all these events going on, how can folks, again, get a hold of you or find out more?
I would go to cornerstonemeadville.net, or for any of these events, you can call the church at 814-336-1889, and Claudia's there from 9 to noon, and you can talk to her or just leave a message, and we'll get back to you.
All righty. Pastor Brian Custard joining us this morning.
You say that with such emphasis.
I know.
You're so unaccustomed.
Well, no, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. When I read that a couple months ago, I was like, oh, good for him. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
And thanks for coming in this morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, a lot of great things going on, things that benefit the community, benefit the church, and women's services. So, again, for all the folks involved, good job. Very good job. So, Brian, Good to see you this morning.
All right.
We'll have you
Thanks
back
for
real
having
soon.
me.
Coming up, we have a visit with the Crawford County Commissioners, and Mr. Christopher Soft will be joining us. You should get him to wear his kilt and play the bagpipes
That would
for
be
the blessing.
awesome. That would be so
All right,
awesome.
we'll get that set up for you. And by the way, happy anniversary. We'll talk to Mr. Christopher Soft coming up as the Morning Joe continues on this Thursday morning on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network.